Now, why am I wearing a tank top? Well, because that is what John McClane does. Die Hard. It is that time of the year again. Merry Christmas to all of you out there. And yeah, I mentioned earlier that I saw Office Christmas Party, and I will have that review out tomorrow, but now I want to talk about my all-time favorite Christmas movie. Yes, it's the holiday season. There are a lot of Christmas classics that people love to watch. I mean, some people prefer Home Alone, others go really classic and watch A Christmas Carol. Personally, I've always preferred Die Hard. Not only probably the greatest action movie ever made, but it is also my favorite Christmas film. Last year, I did a collaboration video with Sebastian Vandal Martinez from Sci-Fi Night, and we presented our top 5 Christmas movies with Die Hard at the #1 spot. And it just dawned on me that I never reviewed that film for you, so here it is. Let's talk about Die Hard. And a word of warning to all you guys, I'm gonna talk about this movie assuming that you saw it, because if you have not seen Die Hard, well, watch it. It's that easy. Go watch Die Hard. Die Hard tells the story of John McClane. He's a New York cop that goes to LA to visit his wife at her Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza where she works. Lo and behold, 12 German terrorists storm the building, taking everyone hostage, so now John McClane is the only person able to stop them. And now we have one of the most iconic, most awesome, and most spectacular action movies ever made. There is so much to love about this movie. First of all, Bruce Willis as John McClane. I mean, people gave him shit when they heard that he was cast to play John McClane. Now, Bruce Willis is one of the most iconic action heroes ever. Because before that, he was a singer and he did comedy. But that is actually one of the advantages that Bruce Willis has as an action actor, because he is a pretty damn good actor and he seems like an average Joe. Because if you look at all the other iconic action heroes from the 80s, like pretty much everyone who is in the Expendables, yeah, they're not relatable. I mean, even though I tend to love these movies, none of them are relatable. Bruce Willis, John McClane, is a real guy with real issues. First time you meet the guy is on a plane and you see that he's afraid of flying. So immediately I connected to him because I'm afraid of flying. He has problems with his marriage. He's trying to fix them. He finds out from the get-go that his wife has changed her last name to her maiden name, which of course does not sit right with him. And later on he blames himself for everything that went wrong. But from the moment the terrorists arrive, it's him against all. And Bruce Willis absolutely annihilates the part of John McClane. He's relatable, as I mentioned before. He's funny because he's got some great one-liners, and he's a sarcastic bastard. But again, even the one-liners are organic. I mean, the famous line, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." First time he says it in this movie is just, it fits the situation perfectly, because Hans Gruber is threatening him. He's like, "You think you have a shot, cowboy? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." That is the perfect thing to answer, because he dishes out shit all the time. It's who he is. He's a sarcastic bastard. He's an asshole, but a charming one. And also, he's vulnerable. He gets pummeled. Everyone in this movie is against him. And that's what makes this movie so interesting. You really feel like this dude could die, could break. And of course, the side characters are also awesome. First up, Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber. Oh my god, one of the greatest movie villains of all time. He just has the persona down. He almost seems like a James Bond villain. He's methodical. You think that he's a terrorist until you find out that he's actually only in for the money. So he's a thief in disguise. And that adds so much more to the character. He's ruthless. He's violent. And he will do anything to achieve his goal. The great thing about this film is that Hans Gruber and John McClane, they rarely ever meet. They talk on a walkie-talkie, and yet the chemistry is there. The dynamic is there. It takes a really good director to establish that, and they did it with aces. The same goes for Reginald Val Johnson. Yeah, Carl Winslow from Family Matters. He's the only one who believes in John McClane. He's his moral compass. He's his moral support. And their cop dynamic is awesome. And again, he helps him morally, but there's nothing he can do. He can only give him the pep talk through the walkie-talkie, while the terrorists are also listening. I love that dynamic. It's awesome. Then you have the three dicks in the movie. Yeah, you have the dick from Breakfast Club as the head of the police. You have the dick from Ghostbusters, or as Bill Murray said, the man without a dick, Walter Peck. And you have Alice. You get the feeling that he's trying to hit on John McClane's wife, and he absolutely blows John's cover, causing even more trouble. So yeah, you need that, because morally, John McClane is also tested. Physically, he's tested. The stunt work in this movie is amazing. The kill scenes are violent, but yeah, it's the 80s. The 80s, they just really pushed for it. They don't make them like this anymore, I'm telling you. And the excitement never stops. There's not a single dull moment in Die Hard. The soundtrack is fantastic, and also, Christmas is an essential part of the movie. The movie really feels like a Christmas movie. I mean, one of the greatest scenes is after John killed his first terrorist, he dresses the body up as a Santa Claus and writes on his sweatshirt, "Ho ho ho, I now have a machine gun." And having Hans Gruber reading that out loud, "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho," is just straight up genius. There's even a scene where the two finally meet, and I love that scene. It's so great. Die Hard is the groundwork for a great action movie. And ever since, people have tried to copy that movie to no end. But they never did what Die Hard did so successfully. Establishing a vulnerable hero who has layers, who also happens to be a badass. But since he's vulnerable, the badass sequences feel earned. A great holiday-themed film, and pretty much an entirely new genre that had been kicked off with this film. Die Hard has always been one of my all-time favorite action movies, and movies in general, and of course, gets the gold medal. I'm telling you, man, if you haven't seen Die Hard, you're missing out. It still holds up to this day. It has not aged a single day. And it's way better than most action movies we get these days. So Die Hard, I assume you have seen it. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.